This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia, a beautiful Friday evening from Europe, Central Europe, from where we come. The time is exactly 4 minutes past 9 o'clock Central European time, 8 o'clock Great British time, that's GMT, and I think 7 o'clock Liberian time. Or 8 o'clock Liberian time, I think, because the time changed. But wherever you are watching us, we'd like to say welcome. This is where we discuss the issues from top to bottom, leaving no stone unturned. We also gave our opinions on the issues. They may not be right, they may not be wrong, but that's how we feel. So tonight, we have a house full of panelists as usual. My colleagues are there. They will introduce themselves and from where they live. And starting with myself, I live in the Royal Kingdom of Norway. It's cold here. Today was the coldest since the winter, since the introduction of the winter. It was minus 11 today. No, it was minus 11 yesterday, and today it was minus 13. So, but then the good news that early next week is going to be, all the weekend is going to rise up. So it's going to be at least 1 or 0 degree next week, or maybe 2 degrees positive. So, you know, we are up, we are on the rise and on the fall. But it's going to be a beautiful night. This evening we'll be starting our discussions as soon as my colleagues have said. But guys, welcome. Where you guys from?
Good evening, Linfa. Good evening, Francis. This is the Lord Chilope from the United Kingdom, the friend of King Charles. It's happy to be back on this program and want to say good evening to our listening audience.
Okay.
And
my good friend at the bottom of the screen, where are you from?
Good evening. I'm from the Royal Kingdom of Sweden. I live in Stockholm, and it's good to be here this evening. You know, if Norway is cold, Sweden is colder, so you know it's good to be here. Here to delve into the issues, you know, that are affecting the world globally. Liberia is part of that global village, so we are here to discuss issues, you know, looking at different perspectives.
And I learned you got a first snowfall in Sweden all the week or during this week, right?
Oh, definitely, man. I remember chaos or storm. I mean, like, you know, there was a red flag warning if you didn't have anything to do outside. In certain parts of the country, you know, there was completely snowstorm. There were delays in the train, the transport system, the metros, you know, so it was actually chaotic. But now things are becoming normal. So yeah, it is what it is, and we'll find ourselves.
I know, right? And I know I lived in Sweden before, and I know how this. You'll not be expecting anything. You wake up one morning, it's so plenty. Like it was somewhere and they just empty it down. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of living in Scandinavia, you know, because we cannot do without snow. Some people here live on snow, right? Some people here that's like no job for them to ski. They live on snow. So when no snow, they will not have job. They will not have money. But gentlemen,
let me just coming quickly. Interestingly, when I was studying, you know, sustainable development, I mean, you never know that these things are very important. The snow is very, very important. You know, when the dry season comes, the snow that is kept on the mountain, I know that the residue, I mean, it melts, it trickles down into the system. And also, I mean, everything nature provides has a positive impact on humankind, you know, in the society.
Yeah, and you know, those of us who live in Scandinavia, especially like Norway and Francis, if you happen to have the chance to travel probably to the northern part of Sweden, because I live not to the north, I live in the not too middle though, or comparing Stockholm and Oslo, I live upper Norway. And you know, you climbing this mountain, right? You're going up, 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 and thinking that this is the top of, I mean, this is a high slope. Or you get to that top of the mountain, then you see level ground, and you see rivers, river flowing naturally, you know. But you came from down and you climbing the mountain. I'm telling you. Then you reach to that top, big top. There is one right behind me here called Vordresflia. When you climbing this mountain, you think you're going to one top. Or when you get there, it's a level ground, and you can see 360 degrees, right? But they got water there. The only thing, no trees can grow there forever and ever. No trees will grow there because of the air pressure. But man, they got water there, they got fish inside. So I question myself, where did fish can come from? You know?
When there's water, there's always life.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that I gave something in France? They talk about nature. Live for you, you live in Bon County, Patawi waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
The source of that waterfall, do you know, it's just a tiny stream at the top of it, but the force that it comes way down, you think there's some big river on the other side. That's the beauty of nature. And you see the source, you say, wow, this is this small place that generating that sort of power when going down. So yeah, it is. Nature is interesting thing.
Seriously, nature is interesting thing because, like Francis said, you know, when that snow sits on the top of that mountain, and then it will melt. When it starts to melt, then it start going down. Just small thing, it'll be like, you know, just small drop of water going down, down. Then the other small one that flowing. When you go low, it becomes river. That's why in Norway we don't have a river that will run from way to the top, then it reach to the ocean. No, you see one river running, my man, big between two mountains, big river, deep, running with force. But then it will go somewhere and finish. The whole river finish. It just stop. Then you'll be dropping small. Then the other one are dropping small as it go down. Then the other one joining it. So you know, it's if any country will go out of water, it can be Norway. Seriously, maybe it will take 1,000 years before, even if there's a drought in the whole world, it will take 1,000 years before Norway can go out of water because everywhere, between every little mountain. But guys, we don't want to bore you down with the nature discussion, but it's good to know some of these things sometimes. And if we go back to Africa, Liberia, where we got a lot of rainfall, we also have the sources of water. Sometimes most of the big river you see in Liberia, they just start from a small place. As a country, there is something we study about in geography called the tributaries of the water, the tributaries. Small rivers come and join. Then as they go, they be getting bigger. Then another one join. Before the St. John River can reach to Buchanan. Is so wide. The St. John River runs from Nima County through Bon County and through Grand Bassa. And my town is situated right on the St. John River. It's not as big as when you go to Buchanan, when you're crossing out, you know, that's how it be. But then I think St. John River to my town is bigger also. But if you go up and if you go to the upper part, going to Nima way, it's small. Well, you see, nature is so unique that you know it provides us with everything, but then we abuse it. And we're not so thankful. But guys, Paul, I think you have a music for us that you will play. And then after that, while the music is playing, we'll be sharing the video. And those of you joining us, please able to share the video. And right after that musical break, when we come back, we'll be going directly into our discussions.
Yes, to our viewer, thanks for joining us. This is the Bottom Line Liberia, where we discuss issue here. There's a new release by a young Liberian artist called King Dennis. He released a new song. I mean, if people who want to listen, if you listen today, he's on YouTube. Subscribe to this young man music. He's a very talented young man. I guess when you guys listen to the music, you may enjoy it too. So please share the show while we play this music.
R.I.A. DJ Summer. In the back and stand, let me enjoy myself. We not in competition while you getting there. Simple love will live in see and getting there. I'm tired helping people, let me help myself. I now want wake up one money and see myself in great. And people be enjoying all the money that I made. So I don't put myself first. And I know about you, I put myself first. Life is too short, so let me enjoy myself. This place is looking hot, let me come for myself. The way we enjoying, I know you're getting there. Even you there, and never hang there. So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time to go, I tell you in my show.
So I'm money that did I need and pray. That thing on my mind, I'm killing me. Fragile trip, I make all the pay. I invest on the skill of equality. Give my share, give my chance, give my scooby. Give me sabu and I won't kubi. I'm lucky and all the duty of rabbit. You are my mind, like kubi. I don't there's no movement in level. Use everything for instrument. But I know say the level and looking at school and get nothing except for instrument. Now I'm born don't go there at payment. In my community, I ain't chairman. I don't bomb on and farm out the bomb on and water. I can give me the bomb and payment. So you're sure that for the whole TV. And show my TV, let's say I win TV. Now where in government, you know TV. Where you stay, you know TV. It is your way that you all my people that you did just going wrong. For lying to me and the innocent people that they go at their own phone.
So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time more, I tell one in my show, you go.
You allow me to feel it. They show like my show, yeah. So Bobby go give my blessing, just take it down for the scope. I eat a bowl, my poo, yeah. They get nothing to show. The high team, I saw in a cover, now they can't handle my smoke. I know they tired of me, but they can't stop it anything. I'm a movement. Every set I said it was 7. They won't know, but it's taking. Play that run, that's 2011. Low key or big fan. They don't know how to do it. I tell them I wrote every now with a good pen. So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. Every lance and bass coming straight from the soul. So let me do my own quick. Let me do my own quick. Yeah.
So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time more, I tell one in my show and go.
If you see a show, you see a show. I'm on a show, I'm on a show. I want to get my soul and bury my soul. I mean, know the thing. I will be a home. Of a true no man is an island. But the islands can look up the water, cause to all the water they add in our land. 10 toes down, 10 fingers. I stand wide on other people trying to squat on business. I am not an opportunist. I am the one that the sentence can tell you that I am to never be fucked with. 11 grade now, baby. True me. 11 5 by the state to be capped out with Kenneth. So now I just like give it. Give it and take it and give it back. And she give my life back to the papi. They say you know, say I have the shot coming. They say you know I'm saying.
So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time more, I tell one in my show to go.
I was born alone, I will die alone. I know men and I walk like red and let me across the truth. Now you want to see my life cause you're blinding you, let me lace my shoes. Cause if I trip and I fall, let me will get out and whip my butt while you laugh and move, What I go to go do a broke man, what's a teacher put it to a sick friend, what is God to me, that's my key. So I ain't don't be no blessing. Just a pride that they hit, can't catch me. I can walk through the battle or shadow or death, I can use my baby and be winning. Tell me call I again, I just one time, I need my ego, my picky. Your position, my nigga look done. All the men yeah, know my tongue, but I don't have to watch man. They look at my success and say to watch me interesting. From the womb of my mom, I was destined. All the wish kind of yeah, they could trust me. Real time I style, I be getting show, so every day enjoy you happy. You smoke your blessing, papi.
So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. We're coming to you live from Central Europe, or we are all in different areas in Europe, London, England, Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm in a small town called Fagernes in Norway. So tonight we'll be discussing important issues. We're going to start. Of course, we'll be looking at a review of Liberian newspapers, like you just listened to the jingle. But we're going to start our program from the international front because we want to keep people abreast of what's happening around the world. Uh, Liberia is a member of the the Committee of Nations, and so we are not isolated. If you listen to the music that just ended, the guy said, "No man is an island. Nobody is an island, and even the island will need other water to keep it, alive." So, Liberia being one of the countries in the world, anything that happens may affect us or could affect us, and so in recent times we've been hearing about threats of war, big countries in the world threatening to to go at each other. And we know that if anything breaks up right now, we are not in the 1920s or the 30s or whatever. We are in 2024. The world has advanced. You don't need military people to go in the bush beside Africa, but in the Western world, you don't need military people to go in the bush to go for a war. One little crazy boy sitting down somewhere playing with a mouse can hear click, and something is happening somewhere millions of miles away. So in recent time, all of us on the panel, we've been following the news, especially from Russia, between the tension between Russia and Ukraine. And it is believed or suspected that some powerful hands are behind or are playing role in the war. And so it's been this threat: if you do this, I will do this. If you do this, I will do this. And it doesn't sound good for global peace. It does not really sound good. But Paul, you've been following this, and especially those of us in Europe. Maybe you in Africa, you may say, "Oh, this thing cannot affect us." No, it is not true. Liberia is a member of the Committee of Nations, or like any other country in the world. If anything happens, the ripple of effect will go down. It will go down, it will go on the side, it will spread everywhere. So, Paul, you've been following the incidents in, and Francis also, the incidents in Ukraine. What is the latest development that you've heard, or is there anything that you guys know that does not sound good for global peace?
So, thank you, Linfo. And first of all, before I chime in, I would love to say good evening to our listening audience, wherever you're following us from. If in the US, I think it's afternoon time over there. Good afternoon or good morning. The issue surrounding the whole world in the Middle East and in Europe is dangerous times. And before I go to Russia, there were the RCC, the War Crime Court, issued arrest warrant for Netanyahu and his former defense minister for committing war crimes. And over 135 countries, where each of those countries, when he traveled there, he may be arrested, apart from the United States. Today, UK came out, say when he come, the Downing Street had reported when he land in UK, he'll be arrested as well. So that is good news. I mean, something should put the Israeli on their heels to stop doing what they're doing in the Middle East. So that's with the issue in Russia. We all know Ukraine have been the one in the middle of all this. It's just like the big guns are playing Ukraine like a pawn. So we know that the U.S., Biden, and my country, Great Britain, have given Zelensky the go-ahead to use Western weapons. And we know, on our last podcast, we said it. Putin has threatened to retaliate, and all of those countries that involved, he will go after them with a nuke. And now, when they launched these things on Russia, what happened? The Russian retaliated with some weapon they have just developed. No one knew about it. They have to send it. It's almost like the big one, the big thing that carry nuclear, but they just developed something that unknown to everybody. They launched this through the airplane. And it was a shock that the way it happened. So people now are concerned, say they should not take Russia for harassing. This guy is bluffing. Because when they keep poking on him, he will do something stupid. That's why we say we pray Because my country, UK, is one of the countries on the front line that then the Russians are being the targeting if they continue to pump into their business. And this is where it is. So whatever he did this few days, it's like a sending message to the world. Don't take us for granted because they keep saying, oh, this guy is bluffing. So that's how I see it. And I hope everything comes to a standstill. I think there's some video there after friends say, hey, let's see what happens. So people who have not seen, they kind of show what he did, they can explain it in one of those videos, although it was reported by Sky News. Francis, I'll leave it with you, my brother.
Yes, thank you, guys. Look, first of all, I would like to digress a little bit and go to the Middle East. What's happening in the Middle East is a complete genocide, and to try to annihilate a complete group of people, and the arrest issue that was ordered by the ICC. I think it's fair enough because we have our president, one of our former president, in jail. So this cannot be selective. And I think it's appalling on the part of the United States of America, who globally champion human rights, justice for all. The world police, global police, is going back on the ICC's verdict. Calling it rejecting it. I think it's unfair, and I want to believe personally that from the UK and other Western countries that tend to embrace it, it's just lip service. I don't think they're going to effectuate any arrests if yet Netanyahu goes, he lands into the UK or Ireland or Germany or wherever it is. I think he will be arrested if he goes to South Africa, as a matter of fact. Not to Liberia, not at all. So, so yeah, I think it's unfair. And I think, the world need to be seen, from a different light when it comes to justice. That's selective. Which country, leaders should be given carte blanche, and then they go to the Russian and Ukrainian war. These weapons were being used by Ukraine over a year ago. They were only targeted in the Donetsk and the Kiev region where the Ukrainian, the Russian forces actually, capture. But interesting that they go beyond, and it's belated. I think it's just symbolic. It's belated. It's just, Biden trying to save face that he supports the war. He supports military support to Ukraine, and it will be interesting to know that what you call it, the storm and the attempt, what the United States provided. It goes 100 and I think 200 kilometers. It does not. From where Ukraine is, it cannot go deeper into Russia. It will hit the Russia surrounding territories that are already under pressure, from the war. But I think, as you said, Russia is not a puppet. Russia has, according to the latest report, the North Koreans, over 10,000, and they keep with their own weapons have never used. They have been saving the weapons to the ammunition to use against South Korea, but have been holding back. So they gave them a playing field to go to launch them and test those missiles. So it's an interesting game. Unfortunately, the Ukrainians will be the one to suffer. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. This is diverse views, but I think only two issues that Paul raised: the Netanyahu stuff, and Francis, you highlighted that. You frown on America, but America, the ICC, America supports the RCC, they spend money on it, but they said
And
that nobody, none of their people
exactly
can go there. Or else we would have George Bush at the RCC. But they said no, they are immune to it. And this is what we're talking. It's like the United Nations. They support everything. So that they fund everything. So they have the bigger say. So the other member countries are, yes, they support, they are there to allow vote, or if they pay dues, they pay their dues, that's it. But the big five decide. But the good thing about this thing is that not every country in the world will support what Netanyahu is doing in Israel. And the Israeli-Palestinian situation, this is something that started a long time when all of us were kids, and we grew up and we continue to see it. The question is, how is it going to finish? Who can finish it? Because the bigger countries in the world that should be, pushing for a stop to this war, they are in it. America supports the situation in Palestine or in Israel. And it's a difficult thing to say. Okay? Somebody welcome you. They 1948 or 1940 something, I think 1948, when they established
1948. Yeah.
Yeah. When they established the two-state solution and said Israel should, the Palestinians should work on Israel. Okay, when you met the people there, yes, you may say that was your original land, but what happened to you? You left. If the power is true, God swear you. God say, I will scatter you around the world. You will not have no home. Okay? And then the human beings say, okay, we'll bring you back. When they brought you people back, they settle you with these people. So all you had to do was to live with them in peace, be peaceful with them, but you want to take the people land by force. Okay? You don't want to agree to whatever they say. So I think that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. So, but and then going to the how you call the other group, the Russian people. Let me tell you, whatever they're doing, there is no way that Russia can be defeated, by any force. Because I'm reading some comments that people are still underestimating Russia. And I'm reading one comment here from Real Pro that talk about NATO having 32 strong nations. No, let me tell you, some of those nations are only in NATO for certain reason that America can establish their bases there. For instance, if they're fighting in Russia, they can kind of settle in one small country here, and bring that. But they're not significant. And Russia, you think Russia does not have friends too? Russia got friends. Okay? Do your geographical, demarcation, east and west. Because they want my border to east and west. Simple. That's why my border to. Because all the eastern countries have been threatened by the west. And so everybody got friends, some kind of way. But guys, I think we have a video that Paul loaded. And Paul, if you can say anything small about that video before.
Before Paul comes in, let me just. One our viewers saying that the weapons that the Storm Shadow and the ATM, attack them. What America gave Ukraine. Look, America has developed the newest version of that. That the ATM was used in the Gulf War in 1991. Can you imagine that when it was first used in the Gulf War in 1991? So America gave them that. You see, Russia and Ukraine territory. Russia, you see, we usually hear the word it was given to attack Russian territory. Those weapons cannot hit. It cannot hit. What do you call it? Moscow. It cannot hit Moscow.
Yeah, but Moscow may not be the target.
I'm just trying to say that. It's across the border, hitting Russian territory, the Russian territory. That way it goes. So if you need to hit Russian, if you need to hit a city like Moscow and other bigger cities, you need to have a more advanced artillery range. You know, so I'm like, so America is not stupid. America just, I've seen it, it's just symbolic. It's just even to say you're supporting your get hit. That's Liberia or Ivory Coast, the boat or Guinea, a boat tour and across the border. You hit a woman there. You cannot go as far as Abidjan or maybe Ma or somewhere else. Maybe around those areas. Yeah, you know, yeah. So I mean,
but Francis, do you know the danger? Do you know the danger involved? Because Russia is saying, do not use this weapon. If you use it, we'll retaliate. So as long as they are the first to use it, and Russia has proof that they have used it, nobody's going to set a boundary for Russia how far to hit. You see the danger. So Russia can say, okay, you hit maybe 2 kilometers into our territory.
Exactly.
Or we are 1,000 kilometers. So you see, this is, do not do this. You come to my house, you bang a door, I open the door, I say, do not come in. If you come in, I will push you out, or anything will happen to you. You see, that's it. I remember, Paul, before you come in, I remember 1991 when the Liberian Civil War was on. The news came that there were rebels training in Sierra Leone to come to attack Liberia. And that was I think how the Ulimo started. Because there were Liberians living there, of course. And not all the people out there were against the MPFL. So the news leaked into MPFL that the Crown people are regrouping to come. And I remember 1991, July, specifically, we traveled to Lufa County with President, and with Chancellor at the time, that president. And it was in July, a very rainy day. And Taylor made a statement. At that time, the radio station in Fajama was still operating, ERLV. And Taylor spoke. And he gave this warning to Momo at the time and said, you have to make sure that my Liberian people who are refugees should not be trained by your military, because if you train my people in the country attack us, we'll chase them right to where they come from. Even if they go to the master mate, we'll follow them. So the thing is, in war situation, you can never determine what your enemy will do. You can determine what you will do, but not what your enemy will do. Or if you attack your enemy, you don't know how to respond. See, those of us who came from war situation, I think we should be very careful with this. Because, look, you fire AK in the main territory, as long as you have attacked the man in his territory, you don't know whether the man will reply with RPG. See, so you have to be very careful. And, you know, in war, there's no winner. So I keep reading all these statements that River Cesspro is doing. River Cesspro, America is not magic, or they not no magical power. Even they would be small Vietnam, defeated them. So they went in Afghanistan. They did all the things. They have to run away and leave all that weapon there. Okay, that Trump even mad at Joe Biden for that. So don't let the size or the media propaganda. There is no clear winner in war, my friend.
So, Linford, before you play the video, there's something I just want to bring up based on his historical facts. The U.S. always been poking in the Russian terrain. Back in the USSR, you heard about the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? Khrushchev and Kennedy. Had it started, it was the American that moved their big guns into Turkey. So the USSR got kind of nervy about it, said, but this is nonsense. That's how they moved their one into Cuba. And the negotiation, if you pull out, will pull out. That's what happened. History taught us that this very Ukraine were part of the USSR. They know that if you come closer to Russia and you say you want NATO to be part, you know it will not go down well with your neighbors. And they are the same ethnic speaking group. Within Ukraine, there are Russian people that don't like that idea. And you decide to go into to say, oh, one. Now, that's why when they say inexperienced leaders come into play, this is where the Western world will capitalize on it and use that person as puppet. And this is the situation Zelensky is faced with. You see? That wouldn't have happened as if Russia moved their bazooka into Venezuela. They will not allow it. So things that you're not allowed, why encourage it? So I just want to put that in there for historical purpose so people can know that it's all the Russians don't go poking. If you invite them, they will come. But if you go poking in their nose, then they'll come after you. So you can roll when you're ready.
Okay. So
Yes, the Russian student.
It was good. You know, the thing, I live in both Russia and Ukraine, so in a day history there, and I understand the terrain well, so I know what
I haven't lived in. I haven't even been to Russia because just the name Russia. I'm always afraid. I've traveled all over Europe here, but when I hear Russia, yes, something. It's like when I hear North Korea, something tell me no, don't go there. But I've been to Ukraine. In fact, I have my business partners in Ukraine. So Ukraine was like trying to become my home, my second home. They are very welcoming people. They are very good people. This is the place where I saw one where the group of white guys were working on the road. I was driving when I stopped. Then the guy came and he started rubbing hair on my skin to see whether the black them were leaving. But they are very good people. And when I look at that country, it's a very industrial country. You got big factories that are operating. So why would Zelensky want to set them down for a military operation instead of telling America come and reform these factories and let my people work? But that's a different discussion for a different day. But let's look at this video and let's listen to it very carefully and hear what it will say. Let me see. Okay, guys, bear with me.
Well, this feels like a very significant moment in the conflict tonight, Gillian, for a few reasons. One is the new weapon that Russia says has been deployed, this new hypersonic, medium-range, non-nuclear ballistic missile that Vladimir Putin says existing missile defenses are incapable of intercepting. Today, the target was a military facility in the city of Dnipro, but he says more attacks could follow. The second significant thing was the substance of what he said, this new threat implying that British and American military facilities could now be attacked by Russia. His justification is that the UK and the US are now directly involved in the conflict after giving permission to Ukraine to use their long-range missiles deep inside Russia. He's not made this threat before, but his reasoning is that it's not just the permission and the missiles they're giving to Ukraine, it's also the satellite capabilities and the operational aspect of those weapon systems. And the third thing that's really significant tonight is the setting of his address, a televised address. He doesn't do that very often. It's reserved for significant moments, like, for example, his response to the terror attack in a Moscow concert hall in March this year. And also he used that setting for, well, when he announced the full-scale invasion of Ukraine to the nation nearly 3 years ago. So those three things, the setting, the substance, and the new hardware, all add up, I think, to what will be a very tense new phase in the conflict.
And Ivor, earlier, the Russian Foreign Ministry was refusing to comment in somewhat bizarre fashion. But what actually happened?
Yeah, a very strange moment at a briefing at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Moscow this morning. It involved the spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, who took a phone call in the middle of her briefing, interrupting her own briefing, which is pretty unusual in the first place. But the second really unusual thing was that you could actually hear the speaker on the other end of the phone, and he appeared to say, this unidentified caller appeared to tell her not to comment on the reports that Russia had used a new ballistic missile. Have a listen.
Да. Алло. Да, у меня брифинг. Да, хорошо, спасибо.
So all very strange, but the confirmation we do now have that Russia has indeed used this new missile. And the question is, will this change the West's thinking? And I don't think it will, because one, I think they will have known this accusation of direct involvement would have been coming. Moscow has indicated that's their thinking for months. And secondly, I think they will have known Vladimir Putin will have felt compelled to act in some way, having made so many threats. He couldn't very well not act at all. The question, of course, is what comes next, as ever. this feels like a very significant.
Okay, guys. So you got it, and we want to give Sky News the credit for that video. It's not our creation, and like we always say, the disclaimer on the show is that we are not promoting war between Israel and Palestine. Neither are we condemning any side. The same with Russia and Ukraine. But we need to inform our people. We need to disseminate the information as they come. And unfortunately for us on the Bottom Line Liberia, we do not have correspondence in these big areas. So we rely on second-hand information. And so we usually give credit to our sources. But in as much as we take the information from other sources, we also have our own perceptions as to what are unfolding in those areas. And so guys, you listen to the video. I guess there is something that you took away. We'll start with Francis and then go to Paul, and probably I will say what I took away from the video.
I mean, it's no surprise that we will have seen a retaliation from Putin and the Russian side. But what is interesting is that the bizarre nature, of them trying to muzzle the defense minister at their press conference, or whoever she was speaking. It's very unfashionable way, to stand up and press conference, they call in, and you could hear the exchanges in the Russians and kind of stuff. But this gonna go a long way. If there is no diplomatic efforts, there will be a lot of destructions. And the Western powers, the Americans and the UK and the allies versus Russians allies, will be a testing ground for them, for the weapons. And there will be a destruction of that country. Ukraine was the breadbasket of Europe. As far as the war actually as well, they had a huge amount of wheat. They supply a lot of stuff to Europe, and then we feed the pinch of it right now. So there's the only diplomatic solution to that. And the Russians are hard-headed. Putin does not want to be seen as a coward or probably a man of no substance. So, you could see how he maneuvered his way. He turned out what the president said, he came back, he took it from the guy. If that guy was smart enough, I would arrested Putin right there when he turned what that president said to me.
The man gave it, he said, give me a value, arrest him.
No, but he gave it to me at the time. I would take it from him. I would have made him very, very, ineffective. But anyway, that's the side of it. Anyway, that's my view on the whole, the Ukrainian-Russian war, because Russia is a superpower. Russia has a lot of stuff in store. I've been doing a lot of research. Russia, they might be a little bit skeptical, because if you say our Liberian partner and say one more born crazy child. So if you hear ballistic missile, the person that about that, it's so the technology is so advanced, like it goes beyond the bunker.
Yes.
Yeah. That's so wherever Putin is or wherever the UK's prime minister is, they will still follow them. So about that. So nobody want to die at the end of the day. So we don't want to go that. We don't go that route. Yeah. Yeah. So it's over to moderator.
Yeah, Paul. You've been to Russia. In fact, you lived in Russia. You studied in Russia. You are not Russian, though.
Yeah, the thing is, we're told Russian history, although I did engineering there, but it's one of the first things that you learn, the Russian history. They tell you how they became superpower. It's one of the countries that have most sanctions than any other country on the planet Earth. So they tell you how they stand. And with them, and from this video, what I took from the video, if that telephone call that they made to that woman, telling her not to talk about it because she could have said, this is a new kind of new that we just designed. So now they get the West guessing what sort of development they have come up with that they kept secret. So poor Ukraine is the testing ground for this point. And Francis said it right, said North Korea are taking arms they never used. Even the Chinese have designed something they never used to. It could be that place or testing ground. So the best solution today, young man Zelensky, hold on. Since Trump said he want to end this war, I will wait. Why you allow the old man who is leaving office in 2 months to push you? So if he do something, say that again, Russia just tested something. What one they will come our way again to wet? Maybe this one will be Kiev the next time. So if the way I see it is just a sign, they give you warning to the West. Don't overlook us what we're seeing. The
first thing I want to establish is whether any of you are sure or anybody is sure that the voice that was on our telephone call was that of Putin.
I mean,
No, it's
nobody
not
said
Putin.
it.
It's not
Who
Putin.
said it? Nobody.
No.
Nobody said it. Yeah.
Okay,
Putin wouldn't call.
because you know most of the comments I'm reading, people tend to misunderstand this thing. And Real Sense Pro, let me tell you, you and I always agree on issues. But I will tell you, people gotta believe that America is this all that can happen in the world. Let me tell you, America got an interest is merely in America, not outside of America. America creates war in Ukraine. They're fighting it. How many American soldiers die as we speak? It's Ukrainian soldiers that are dying. America say we'll supply you, or go fight. Again, you carry your small brother on the beach. Then you see people fighting, say, Piggy, go, you push your Piggy here, say, I'll go fight, go punch that man. You stand here, when they punch your Piggy, you run back, you say, no, go back. So you see, this thing, let me tell you, open your eyes. America went to Iraq. They were, in fact, they recruited Iranian that were fighting, or Iraqis that were fighting. Americans fought. America learned that lesson long time from Vietnam. I'm telling you, for long time. Okay, so they don't just. That's why they will always say they will not put boots on the ground, but they will give you anything you want. Now, what I took away from the video, Putin talked, and he spoke via telephone, right? He did not have that usual press conference where he will be coming walking, then all the people standing that long corridor. You understand what I'm talking about? Where he waving to everybody, he did not do that. Number one. Number two, he said the weapon they have now, no defense system can stop it, but it is not nuclear. Who's going to be there to test it, to know whether it's not nuclear? They developed it. So we are playing with something that could be dangerous. And people think, and Real Sense is giving some example that, okay, for example, you in Guinea, then you fire rocket in Lofa, in dropping Montreal, then you think Lofa and Montreal is seeing. My brother, those boys have developed that thing that can move from where Russia to Washington. And besides that, you're thinking that America is far from Russia. No, America is very close to Russia if you go on the other side of Alaska. Very close. So the thing is, there is no giant in war. There is no giant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is no giant. Even if you Goliath and you're fighting David, if you punch David hand can rub on your chest, at least. Okay? So there is this thing. We have seen wars around the country.
Hold on, Linford. Real Sense Pro, it was the Russian that marched into Berlin. It was not the American, it's the Russian that ended that war. From Moscow, they fought the German into Berlin before Hitler when they committed suicide. It was not American. So get that thing straight. It's in history. So, Linford, the reason why I called you up, I wanted to chime on this. They talk about small ball. They tell you, say, go do it. In America, the weapon they gave Zelensky is not free. Ukraine will pay. It's not for nothing. So you see the situation they put them in. They'll be indebted to the American for years because for each of those things that they gave, one of those things could cost $1 billion. They will pay. So it's not free. We give it to you free. No. So you know the West, when war is somewhere, that's how they make their money. It's not free. So, but they say that's the inexperience of a leader. You put your country in a situation that they will have to live by. And Francis said it, they are the breadbasket for Europe. So the time they will be taking to pay back America, they will struggle. So the thing, stop.
They are already struggling. You see, I got a couple of Ukrainian friends here, right behind my apartment, right behind here. Group of them living there, mostly we talk. In fact, there is one right on my left hand right here. We talk. I've been to Ukraine. I say my business partner was from there. And Royal Pro also, I don't want to make you a topic here, but you're also talking about Dnipro. That place is not called Dnipro, it's called Dnipropetrovsk. Dnipro is one of the industrious cities in Ukraine that was controlled by Russia. There where my business partner were. I drove from Kyiv 8 hours to go to Dnipro, down south. And Dnipro, the interesting thing, Paul, when the guys came to pick me up to go to where our men were manufacturing what I wanted to buy. We drove through that city for more than 30 minutes. And Paul, my hair was full. Even all the guys were trying to keep conversation with me, and I didn't pay attention to them. That this place is so industrialized. You got factories both left and right on the road. Factories abandoned. And those factories are tight. But they are abandoned because Russia pulled out and nothing more. And you see people standing there like this. Sitting here, sad. Nothing to do. Okay? So Dnipro is not even as important as you think it is in Russia. So I mean, in Ukraine, so Russia is not even going after Dnipro because they run on the border, they can march in 1 minute. They can cross the water and march in 1 minute. They're not thinking about it because nothing there. So if Russia wants to do it, they'll do it because Russia, they got long border. It's porous. They can pass anywhere, any hour, any minute. Okay? And people speak the same thing. Okay? So you will not know the Russian from the Ukrainian though, because they speak almost the same. The people on the border speak the same thing. I got a friend, one girl. Her father lives in Russia and she lives in Kyiv. Okay, when I asked her, "Oh, how's your father?" She said, "I want you to die." I said, "Why?" Because he's supporting Ukraine. I mean, he's supporting Russia against us. So I said, "But he's a Ukrainian." So yeah, the fact that he lives in Russia. So you see, this is a complicated situation that particular area is in because they are relatives. It's like Ivory Coast and Guinea, and then Liberia and Ivory Coast or Liberia and Guinea. People of the same, But again, I think they gotta decide how best they can solve this thing, guys. I think we got to transition because in any case, one last thing I want to talk about, Royal Cyprus, Liberia is not important to global peace. Yeah, Liberia is not important to global, but anything that happens globally will affect Liberia. So that's what we're talking. We're not talking about Liberia being important. The very America that we're talking about, if Russia starts to attack America, all the countries in the East start to attack America, God forbid, that America can get all money in Liberia. So what will happen now? America will be busy with that war. They will not even pay attention to any other country in the world. They will be protecting themselves, spending money on that war. Then Joseph Walker will go stand and say, "Oh, give me money." The same level. But Paul, I think we have
Let's transition. In all of news around the world, we're coming back to Africa. Our neighbors, Sierra Leone, on Wednesday, their airline picked up from London to Longay. exciting news of Sierra Leoneans in the UK here that they have direct flight now. They won't have to go by Air Morocco or Air Brussels. They go direct. So why am I bringing out Sierra Leone? Liberia, since our civil war ended, was one of the countries that Honor Ellen will have debt free. Bannon Bio, after a short time coming to office, this guy is moving with speed. And our own people in Liberia today, they fighting among themselves because of power and money. So it just amazed me that since our civil war ended, Liberia had an airline before. The last airplane we had was sold right here in London. You see, we are not even thinking at that direction. Where are we heading? And now Sierra Leone will just come and pass by Liberia with force. So this is the point I'm trying to make. Look, Sierra Leone Airline. And if we want to travel to Liberia, we got to go all the way to Ethiopia before going home. And this, I don't know how difficult it is for a country like Liberia to have two airplanes, because it's almost like a car. You can hire a car that you will be paying back. You get all of these Ethiopian and pilots, Kenya pilots that you could bring if you don't train Liberians. Why are we wasting time for? And every day we just go around begging because we don't stand up in Liberia. How do we collect money to pay, to collect taxpayer money to pay? And the budget, they just send a budget to the house, 841 million. Could you imagine? Countries are talking about billion. So where are we heading? And this is, I just decided to bring that in. Sierra Leone going to pass by all in the next few years. And the way Liberian can fly to Ghana for holiday, Sierra Leone will be the next destination in the next few years. If we're not careful, if we don't do things straight. So I just want to bring that thing out to the public. What you think? Riverside Pro, where you're coming? This is Sierra Leone, our neighbors. Liberia just there every day. We get noise in the Senate. People not doing things right. They're fighting for.
Well, we have our own. We had our own on the platter. It came as a cake. We ate it.
Not your voice.
Seriously.
Yeah, but I think on a serious note, Francis, you want the floor?
Yeah. But actually, before the Sierra Leoneans came, we had Air Liberia. I remember the nation in the 70s, late 70s, and just around the early 80s. I mean, the Lone Star flew, Air Liberia to Sierra Leone and back in all over the country. But look, having a plane, look, it requires a lot of things. Safety is the number one issue. Do we have the capacity, the maintenance? Maybe this was just outsourced, by the Sierra Leone government. We got it bearing the Sierra Leone flag, like our former president said for morale. No, we have major airlines that went bankrupt. I mean, I don't know how often they're gonna fly from London or where are the other destinations are, but having a national airline, you did logistics. You part of the I did couple of that. I did in my course. I did freight and aviation. Look, it requires a lot of things. It may good. For the optics, it may be good that Sierra Leone has the airlines, but hey. I hope that it stays. I mean, for the next, let's say 5 years. I don't want to be pessimistic. That's 2 years. At least 5 years from now, then I will actually grade it. But I mean, we have heard about these kind of filter accidents in Nigeria constantly. It requires a lot of maintenance. I mean, you will spend more money on the maintenance and safety of that plane than you actually have Sierra Leoneans flying back and forth. Maybe Liberians will compliment it. You're in the UK, send the face in the road. You can there fly to Sierra Leone. You take your thing and drive to Liberia. It'll be cheaper for instead of going to Ethiopia. But I hope
it's a good sign. You're right.
It's a good thing for the country, Sierra Leone. I wish them well. I have relatives that are married to Sierra Leoneans, so we are interrelated. In such a way. And Liberians go to Sierra Leone too. I know a couple of friends that go to Sierra Leone for holiday. They have beautiful beaches and hotels are good, so they got a good social life. So I wish Sierra Leone well, and I hope our country, in the next 10 years or so, can follow suit.
Yeah, friends said before Linford comes onto this one, the airline will fly from London 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sierra Leone, they have a huge community in the United Kingdom. So and they travel a lot. So that's all. If you're traveling to Liberia before the airline started, you go by Air Morocco, you get more Sierra Leone on board than Liberians. So they will generate huge money. We get millions of Liberians in America. I mean, I don't know. You say it's difficult, it's expensive to maintain, but I think if you getting more customers, you can get your money out of it. And taking say from New York direct to RRA, where we get huge Liberians on our side. If we get one from Europe too, I mean, they will make money. And you can even hire people like you get the Russian powder or the Ukrainian powders that they're all over the place. Or you go to Kenya, or you go to Ethiopia, take them, or you go to Egypt. They just
got Liberian powders in the States. I know come on Liberian powders. I mean, I got a lot of friends who flies for UPS in the States.
Yes. You see?
It comes to Germany all the time.
Okay, guys. I think, let me take down the picture. I sat there and I listened to the both of you, and I was laughing. I was laughing out of joy and pity as well. Liberia had an airline. We used to have these Cessnas. These Cessnas, they were flying locally. Then we have Air Liberia, at least that were going to Ivory Coast and other countries. That was during the time. I remember they brought in, I think, 2 or 3 new aircrafts that were flying locally. They used to land at James Springsteen Airport. I was living in Lakwasi at the time. That was between 84, 85, somewhere around there. So Liberia has been running airline before. We know it is expensive. In fact, one of my students that I was teaching in a grade school, I was teaching at Building for Tomorrow Institute in Lakwasi. Anybody who knows Lakwasi, you see Barnes Foundation, and my school was here. One of my students, the father used to work at Springsteen Airport. And that little boy that I was teaching, guess where he is now? He's right here in Italy. He's flying American jet bomber. His assignment is in Italy. Because his father was working at the airport. And can you imagine? So, Liberia, we got pilots. In 2006, I was in the United States. I had gone to visit my cousin in Florida from Houston. And the Florida I got to Houston, to Florida that same night. My cousin said, hey man, boy, the way you're getting today, I got a long trip to make tomorrow. I'm going to Daytona Beach. Those guys that hijacked the airline and bombed the World Trade Center, the same place where they train in America. Daytona Beach. The school is called Embry-Riddle Aeronautical Engineering School, something like that. There's a Liberian woman whose daughter was supposed to go there. And then my cousin used to live with that woman in Gambia or in Senegal when he was a refugee. So when the woman went to America to take her daughter there, that's the only person he knew. And so this guy was supposed to go help them for the get registration. 3 days, I drove. 3 days, because my cousin was on the way. The first day he drove, for the second day, and the third day I drove the woman and her daughter. So we got Liberian pilots all over the place. And guess what? When we went there, we met another Liberian, but he was born in America. So we got the pilots everywhere. With that sort of manpower in Liberia, when it comes to all disciplines, medical, anything you think about, we got people. But our government, the system of government will run in Liberia because those people are not in Liberia to run under the ring and under the sun and sing praises to any government. When government win, they don't even go out, searching for those useful brains to bring them back home. That's one of the problems we have. So, Paul, when you guys talk about Ukrainian part, what you bring one Ukrainian part when you got Liberian pilots looking for job everywhere. In fact, here in Norway, one little boy that was about 7 or 8 years old, they came in the country. They begin just got through with pilot training now. Last year, the last graduation. Can you imagine? So I think it's incumbent upon our government to go out to search for people who are educated in different disciplines. But back to the financial part of what Francis was trying to highlight, that is expensive to meeting, playing. Yes, it's good. It's just like a playing that different thing. Playing the scene, it's in just like a. If the tire pulls, you put new tire, it will go. You can. So that means we'll be afraid of Parker.
No. I mean, the whole you right there. No. I mean, that acknowledge that comparison is quite different. I mean, look, clean. I mean, you have international body. Your car, international body don't regulate you.
Nobody that regulate us, though. But okay, I understand what you're trying to say. After every flight, the plane will be searched. It will be they will check it. They will make sure that the tires are correct. That the thing that can make a tire to open before you plane land, everything correct. That everything
we'll do it tomorrow. That we can't put our sport life at risk. Your physician will do tomorrow.
Let me get learn and let you know that it's possible. If Liberia had planes before, it's possible because the plane are running gratis. You know how much you pay in plane. You know how much they put you fly economy class. You know how much you pay. They put that fly business class. Nobody pay. They put that fly first class. Nobody pay. They pay money. We pay also pay money. So the plane. If Liberia is serious, we can have plane. Okay. Let me also give you another example. When I was going to Liberia, the last time I was in Liberia, 2016. The 2 times I was in Liberia, I lay over in Sierra Leone. Liberia was the last place, and then they will pick up people and go. So they are passengers. They all will make money. And if Liberia will have plane, people traveling you do long haul. Okay, people traveling from America, they will do the long haul. Maybe they put them in Guinea, or in Sierra Leone, or in Ivory Coast, or in Ghana. So that those are the most popular international destinations. Then your local flight now, your local air Liberia can go and collect your people and bring them. So if Air Morocco, which is from way Morocco, is interested in taking your people, carry them to Sierra Leone and carry them to Liberia and then go back and come back the next day, why you think your own plane cannot do it? So let's not be afraid of the economic side. It's just that the willpower is not there. If we try it, your president, when he travel with a huge delegation, he charter plane or they get someone away to fly. So your country could get money instead of different people putting that money in the pocket from the huge government delegation. Your country could get money. But again,
you're making the topic very worse now. You make it worse. The government delegation, that's credit. Government not credit. Credit airline. Their own people do credit from their people. There's a credit from our people.
And just how they get paid LEC Corey. Yeah.
God, we very LEC Corey.
I don't think that can be. No, not because you went to sleep, you have bad dream, and you wake up, you say, I can't sleep again. My friend, let's try it. Even if we get one small plane.
Exactly. Maybe good.
We try it.
I think the changes in Liberia. I don't want to be, sound very autocratic in a sense. Sierra Leone is a democratic country, but I think if we had a leader who had a little bit of military regiment or background, I think it would probably have gone better. We got our people up there politically inclined. They are a straight plane, straight level. So everything, I mean, they tend to have too much of too many people speaking their ears, so to speak. They don't make an informed decision. You know, but I think, I mean, we look around us, most of the countries who have had, you know, I mean, it's not a good thing though, but they are making progress.
Yeah, but we have one before though. We have one before, and what happened?
You know, but man, we charged it up.
No, do.
I mean, you have a lot of development. You have it. I mean, the defend me to this and that. The central bank. I mean, we have when Taylor or top when they were there, they rented it for themselves. They rented. They build their own building. Government pay for government rented from there and got the money for themselves. During administration, we actually have it for ourselves.
Yeah, but I think I tend to agree with you when it comes to the military takeover, because one of the reasons why I will agree that it will have military government. I'm not saying we should have, and I'm not saying we should not have either. It depends on the situation. I mean, we've tested all. We had a military government before through coup d'etat. We had war. We live in war situation, so we're not afraid of anything again. So sometimes I hear people who we don't want war. This and that. Who told you? No, let me tell you. If you go to the hospital, the doctor give you paracetamol, it ain't work. They say, okay, you go to the next doctor, they say, I can give you chloroquine. Even though it will ring bell in your ear, it will itch your skin, try it. If it can't work, you go, they give you the other queen, the Camo Queen. So we try all the things, and we try to they were a little bit there, inside messing up. So moving, they're walking. They walk through, it started, and then plenty things happen. We change from war to democratic rule again. If it's possible that we can go back to military, because like you just said, all the countries around us, they have tried everything too, but it's not working. So we gotta continue trying until it works. Because the danger about the democracy, the democratic form of government or system that we have now is you go elect one Charlie Bugo, you put the man there because the man gets 6 years. The man sit down comfortably, does what he wants to do, and hoping that okay, the next 6 years I can enjoy. Nobody can right. Nobody can do anything to me. No, the military rule is straight. In fact, even they who are in the military, they are afraid of each other because anything can happen. 1 minute, if you are stupid and they say they man this, so you go in. You see, even though it's that good, but what can we do? I mean, we've become hopeless as a nation. We've tried everything democratically.
I tend to agree with Francis. You see Malabio, I think he served in Liberia for one of the ECOMOS.
Yeah, he was a ECOMOS soldier.
And he have it in him. And you could compare Malabio with a young boy in Burkina Faso to Array. There are some young people that want to see their country moving. But in our own country, it's not about the people, it's about themselves. If you put the people first, you can do things. Until we get people to put the people first, you're going to serve the people. But in Liberia, we don't serve. We get there, the people start serving you. Could you imagine you didn't have a car yesterday? They made you senator. Now you run some SUV car that costs 40,000. You get tinted glass. People got to beg you before you bring the thing down. You're not serving the people. It should be the other way around, and we don't have it. So this is why it is in Liberia. Until you serve the people, then you see the people benefit.
Yeah, but the problem with the military rule also is that, especially in Liberia, what we know is that when they come with this mantra that we cannot change. They will see things working is not good. We cannot change.
But how can you put somebody that came from 10th grade, going next school, have no idea how the country run, how he overthrew the government? Only this is a mystery story that we all know, but Fetera told us that white people kill her husband. So that Liberian military coup was just another.
Let me ask you one question. When the MPSL or all the other rebel groups that came to Liberia, you think it was possible and very easy for them to have gone on the university campus, LU campus, or all the other university, Cottington and other things, and say, you cannot go for a war? It would not happen. They will have second thought. So it's easier for one Joe Blow who was a school dropout, but he has vision or thinking that, okay, I can make a difference to undertake what you try. I live in Greater Liberia during the wartime. So when I lived there as an educated man or journalist, there were people were willingly working on a basis to go train. I could not walk on a base to go train as a military man, knowing the danger but there were boys just walking. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that it's not that easy. Okay, to think that you have one college graduate who will want to go on a
no. Listen.
It can happen, but not that
I
easy.
made a reference. If Fetera Thomas said something, the people that killed her husband, they were not blacks. They were white. She said it in her interview. That means the people who did it took it and gave it to some master sergeant that had no clue on what he was going to do, and you expect him to develop that country. It's just common sense. I put it in. That means he did it himself. That no, we tired suffering. This is what we're going to do. We could have gone different places. You remember those struggle in the first 6 years before he started picking up. But then his people around him had advised him to eliminate key people before he started picking up. We all know the story. One of the person that he got rid of, his number two, was saying we were more like that kind of straightforward person that was going around beating people. You could see the kind of tension, but when he started eliminating those people, it means now he was on another path that, oh, these people fooled me from the start. But when you start bad, you can't end up good. This is what happened in those cases. So he came to power actually to redeem the country. He was going to do it like what Sankara and other people were doing, the how they call it, Jerry Road and others. It happened.
No, that's what I wanted to, when you said that, doors or night school dropout, I just want to let you know that it's not merely about the education, because if you look at it on the average, I don't know how Francis would think about it, but if you look at we all were in Liberia. Okay, I was at a university. I just started working at a radio station when the war started. So nobody could come to me and say, "My man, leave your job at a radio station or drop your courses at a university and can't go be rebel." I would not do it. So you will always have people who will do those kind of job. But then again, I'm not saying it's impossible. You may have like Traore in Burkina Faso. I'm very impressed with this guy. That the guy speaks standard English. Not like from French-speaking country. The boss speak. I listen to. I got all his video most of the time. I follow him. The boss speaks standard English, and not only speaking, but he makes sense when he talks. You see it? So it can happen, but
no. What I'm actually driving out is that kind of mixture, and that kind of inclination that you have. I mean, you see it. You guys who have military background who transition into into the democratic space. They are making more strides, more of development. I mean, they are doing well for the countries as compared to our straight jacket non-military people who do not have any military background and kind of stuff like that.
No discipline. The military have the discipline, so they bring it in, that they embed it into this thing that they look. Paul Gigami, he's a military man.
Yeah, and I think we can also add another quality to it that I mean we've been watching military takeovers in Africa all the time from the 60s all the way 70s. In fact, at its height, the late 60s and 70s, and then coming to the 80s. But now it's a different trend. It's a different trend that is taking in Africa. If we should go back to the last 3 examples that we can give, Burkina Faso, Mali, and where else? Guinea, right next to.
And Niger. Guinea is just
and Niger. Those are all young people. I think with the exception of Niger, but those are all the Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Mali. And those people, I think they are seeing what was missing in previous days when military just took over, probably to change the form. Look at Nigeria. How many military government had not been in Nigeria?
I tell you, my brother.
Yeah.
In the 80s, or some of the 80s, it was like.
And guess what, Francis?
So, you know, before in the 70s and 80s, they were doing it to get rich.
I was forced to ask the guy who was driving, because they brought these cars and they had one journalist in each car. So we went to Aso Rock 2 times. The guy carried us after we was for some time, and we had to come back to our hotel and then drop our things in the hotel and then go back again for the conference. So I was forced, man. I was just compared. I saw this driver was very friendly. So I said, "Okay, can I ask one?" I told him 97. I said, "Can I ask one question?" He said, "Why?" Then I said, "No, I'm a friend." We were just entering Aso Rock for the second time. Man, you're going to pass through when they say gate. We're not talking about the iron, when you can tie one side, and can't tie with lock or rope. No. I'm telling anybody who have been to Nigeria and go to Abuja and go to Aso Rock, you know. I mean, wars, hard war fence. Eh? So I asked the guy, I said, "But how we often hear our friend?" The guy said, "No, ask." I said, "But how we often hear that Nigeria can have military coup? How do they do?" He said, okay. He said, "Look at the fence." He said, "It's arranged." Now the guy to me says, "It's arranged. One group tired, then it's okay, you come and take over and let me go." Then, and that's it. You see, so Nigeria have had all these military coups, but what was the difference? One guy with Babangida will come and sit down there, then all the other. So the new, trust me, if there was to be a military coup in Nigeria, God forbid, yeah, it will be a different form. It will be just like what's happening now in Mali and Burkina Faso, because the guys are bringing different flavor. Okay,
that's true.
It's not like the old guy who are just trying to take over and make some money. No, these guys are coming with vision that no, listen, our continent, our country has been suffering for years, and we want to liberate, true liberation.
Exactly. And the thing is that they are not subscribing to ideology. No, they are free thinkers, and then we got the social media again. It's a watchdog for you. Back in the days, look at it, had the control the newspaper. You go take picture, before you print that picture, you gotta have the concern, or you gotta be on the country, you gotta be a dissident or distant, or whatever. So look. So, but Liberia, we have everything. I don't know why we are where we are right now. I think we need to have a recalibration of our leaders. Who we vote into office. It's so. What happened on the Capitol Hill? You guys show that picture, bro. Yeah, that transition there, and see what's happening. It's so.
I don't know, Paul will come in, but like we were talking about Burkina Faso, Niger, Guinea, and all these things. There are reasons why the young people are taking over. And again, I'll reiterate. That is, they have seen something that the past military government did not see. The past military government, they were like, okay, we want to move you, but you're not doing what we want. Fine. And it was right, though, at the time. But times have changed. And people have changed. For instance, you said it right thing. Social media have educated us. Instead of we sitting in Liberia and looking at what we see in Liberia all the time, we're seeing things that are happening elsewhere. Okay? So, God forbid, if which is not also impossible, if there was to be a military coup anywhere, including Liberia, it will be a different narrative. Because the first thing is, let's look at our country. Giving the Burkina Faso example. So Faso have been in that country for the time my grandfather was small boy. We can say Bab condom. We can produce it in Liberia. I'm talking about balloon, plastic bag. We can produce it, but yet we have some of the most important minerals in the world. That without a cash, airplane cell will not fly because airplane need rubber tire to land. Okay, but what do we have to show? our Opala forget about it because the only host we have left. The other mountain that we say God was finished selling it already gone. We just look at the mountain, but it's gone.
Oh, I mean, quickly, before I lose my thought, I heard the other day that the Turkish guys and from B Mountain, they go into Bombay County to take the last one I left. That's something wrong with us in that country, right?
Francis,
there's something wrong with us in that country, my man.
And you talk about Turkish people. These are people who facing shawarma. They got these two African stores. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You know,
There's something
guys,
wrong in that country, man.
I don't know when I use the word, what is that curse on Liberia? Nobody know what is actually happening to Liberia. Some kind of power is just hanging over that country and then getting people that's supposed to be knowledgeable to be sometimes very stupid. The population of Liberia is easy to control. It's easy to develop Liberia in less than 10 years if anyone who is serious-minded.
Exactly.
It's not hard. But if you have greedy hunters like these people that in front of the screen now as we're looking at, how on earth would Liberia move forward? This is the problem that we have. This is not about the country, it's all about themselves. You see, you elected somebody, you have your own rules. We form a community organization. We go to election, they elect me as president. To remove me in your own rules that if I misbehave, there's something we must do to remove the person, we must have to tell of these people to remove this person. But you go outside the boundary to do your own thing to get signatures. Some people say, oh, you lie to all, I'm taking myself out. They have to go somewhere to notarize their own signature that are not part of the group. You take the same people think you say, oh, we get 50 people, we're removing a guy here. Nobody voting, we electing new person. What kind of country is this?
You know, yesterday I watched a whole thing live, right? And the drama was very simple. They needed 49, right? Constitutionally, according to their own rules, they needed 49. So they raised it up to 50, exact 50. Why it couldn't be 51 or 52 or 53, but exact 50. So they can say, okay, we exceeded the 49. It was funny. And guess what? Part of that rule says, when you get a 49, after you finish removing the speaker, the deputy speaker, once he too is not in trouble, you're not removing him, he is supposed to preside for how many days? 60 days, which is 2 months.
Up to 60 days, yeah.
Yeah. And it can be maybe less than 60 days, but at least 60 days. And you know the reason why? I think the crafter of that document knew that within 60 days, you should have observed how the deputy speaker is working. Probably he too might have interest to run. And before he even runs, he has to resign as deputy speaker, okay, from the previous administration. So you'll be a candidate. But he will still be in charge. So you'll be observing him. And besides that, if there are other people who want to run, the party would be the new party now, because at that time the old speaker is out. So the new party now will be observing all of them. They will use that time to, let's say, vet all the candidates. So it can be 60 days exact or less than 60 days. Okay? But surprisingly, Tomo Fala, after he finished announcing everything, then he said he had no interest in running, but the seat is vacant. So the question I wanted to ask, if I was one of those journalists out there, whether he was also resigning as well as the deputy speaker, because your chief has been dethroned, or it's your administration that has been dethroned, you should take over automatically, and you decline. So what happened to you? What is your position now? You see, but no journalist asked that question. So why he cleverly thought was, okay, if I resign, as deputy speaker now and declare my intention, maybe I might not be elected. So let me rather remain in my deputy speaker position and then declare the speakership position open. That's what he did.
No, but that was a plan. It was planned. It was strategically crafted. That I mean, he wouldn't have contested. He want. Preserve. He tried to. Behold his seat. You know, I think that is unachievable. I don't. Why would these 4 grown men? Liberia see trouble, man. Liberia sees trouble with these people in leadership.
And if somebody have interest, another person have interest, and they're supposed to rally their friend campaign for people to see reason why they should bring their in as speaker.
Yeah.
Because he got crafted their thing. So nothing, they just brought the other guy and say, oh, on a white ballot, we'll put you there. That is completely wrong. So where about the other people on the other side? The other 27 or they don't, in case one of them have interest of running.
Exactly. So the thing is that most of these guys, if you hear some of the political analysts, on the side of the, pro and cons, is trying to give this guy their background. I work with the UN, I was this and that. I don't work with UN yet. I'm doing my cartoon pushing job, but look, I got better leadership quality than these people who claim to have worked with the UN, who work with this, that, and they get a job. It's complete nonsense.
I think let me take this in now. Let me tell you one thing. There is no honor among thieves. That saying is very powerful. See what happened? They were hasty in the process. They created a scenario, which was that reality. You need 49. At least, not 49 you need, but they had to step it up to 50, to the point where when the chief clerk was even reading the names of the people, they were very careful. They were very meticulous. They were trying to put him on his guard so he can't make mistake. You saw the several interruptions that happened. I got a video here. Okay? So they managed to set it to 50. Fine, good. That drama worked. Then they say, okay, we'll remove the speaker. And then in their own rule, it says they're supposed to test the vote, those names. So they come and vote. So the 50 people were supposed to all put their hand or something. But they say, no, let's
leave for. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, cool. Paul, you come forward. That's what I've done.
So we get 50 names, no vote. Could you imagine?
Yeah, they said no vote. So everything was, but then I think the whole decision now lies with the Supreme Court. But the question is that a lot of people are asking is, do you think she could the speaker now press his case? I think that's a question a lot of people are asking. Should he continue to press his case even to the Supreme Court?
Yes, for me, I think he should. Because what these guys are not setting any good example. Yet the Supreme Court now step in and interpret the whole thing here. So if he will go, let him go with clear understanding, because it does not make sense. You, the lawmaker, you make the laws that will govern us. If you're making laws, your own law to break it, then what do you think about me? So me, say the bottom line could be Susu here in Liberia, for example, right? And our Susu, I can take all your money and go with it and break the law because I violate the law that nothing will count order it. So the Supreme Court should be able to say, no, this is how it's supposed to work. Let Liberians see. Because what it did is just wrong. You see, it's just completely wrong. So, for Anti-Copa continue to fight. Let everybody see who's making mistake here. Will the country benefit with this? It's all boiled down to the rule of law. Let law take its place. You cannot govern a country without rule of law. So he should follow that process. Let's see. And another thing too, on that list that they have, there are people on our list that actually said they were fools, so they withdrew themselves from that process. And they went and notarized that. So those people too, They have their owner saying, no, I'm not in favor of this. So the 50% you get, they may end up having less. Let the process go to the sea.
But that's a reason why. That's the primary reason why they could not test the 50 names against a vote. They could not do that because like Yeke, I listened to Yeke. Yeke had a press conference today, and he said, they sent some people in there, to just go and increase the number. You see it? So they could not automatically, they knew that if they test that thing against a vote, right in that same place, after reading the 50 names, people say no, I decline. And then you can't force the person head up, So it was going to embarrass them. But I think you said it right. But let me hear from Francis. Francis, what do you think Kufuor should do?
Look, there are two schools of thoughts here. The first school of thought says that the Supreme Court does not really have the jurisdiction or the authority to make decisions on, like the House of Representatives, the legal people. And so, I have no legal background. I'm speaking from the vantage point as a Liberian, concerned Liberian. And and the second school of thought is that the Supreme Court can put a hold on the whole process, and we return to status quo ante. Because the second school of thought is actually relying on. They are relying on the fact that the case went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court told them, hey, you guys, we cannot make any decision. You guys go and settle it up. Go and settle your matter yourself. But then they say it happened.
It was not a full bench, though. It was just the decision or the opinion of a judge.
Not a judge. Yeah. So, but the full bench itself, I think they said a precedent case. I think was it Evan Snow or maybe what his guy named
Tyler.
The full bench rendered some similar decision, and how come the group went back and what you call it, lobbied, and how come they had the majority, the numbers to oust both. Both of them resigned. Matter of fact, it was not based on numbers. The both of them just resigned because of the pressure. So I cannot say, but I think that process was flawed, was undemocratic. The speaker was not giving a due process, and they want to inform in which the elections or maybe the impeachment process was done. It's questionable. So I hope the Supreme Court.
Something too dramatic happened. Let me hold you there. Could you imagine when they pick this other guy as speaker? The executive already have vehicle security already prepared for him.
Oh wow!
It's like $90,000 vehicle was already there with police escort. So you wonder what the hell? So the paper carrier yesterday, Liberia have 2 speakers.
It might be. It will be. And this is a case. This is a situation that will generate. That would degenerate into some conflict in the country.
But there's a new development when it comes to the Kufuor thing, because a lot of people feel that the CDC from which Kufuor comes and represents, Grand Crew, have abandoned Kufuor in this fight for the fact that a lot of CDCians or CDC lawmakers in the House voted against him. And the new development is that President Weah has reportedly said that he's going to visit Speaker Kufuor at the House come Tuesday. So seditions are saying, well, if our former president is going to visit our former deputy speaker, now speaker, we gotta go. So it is expected that I'm not too sure, but I can preempt. If the plan goes well, if we are ones to really, visit Kufa, that it's going to be a crap puller. How do you think that can change any narrative?
No, it definitely will. It definitely will. Look, the fact is that people who are not seditious, who are looking at the merit of the case and actually trying to uphold the rule of law, the constitutionality of the whole process. I mean, we attract more sympathy towards the CDC and the United Party. This is a disastrous recipe for them. This is an exit for the Unity Party come 2029. Trust me, I'm a supporter of the government, but this is a recipe for disaster. Anybody go on a Unity Party ticket 2029, this will be a reflection. This will actually come up, and this will definitely an exit point for them. I don't know why the president is not stepping in, probably because he does not have any any intention to run or ambition to run 2029. It's just to leave this open for the country. To derail. Look, this will end up in a bloodbath. People will, there will be uprising, there will be agitation, and people they will do everything they can to see that is now you made some Morovia boy. Boy.
Francais is right. The popular sentiment, it have people overlooking it. When it kicks in, it will be bad. And Francais is right here. Because you got, I don't know how many 30 people stay on for the sir, and they also carry their own weight. And people overlooking this, we'll move this guy. It's not this guy standing his ground, and the people are standing when he says stand your ground. So we got serious situation on him. Do you have that Joel Howard? Hold on. Do you have that Joel Howard interview? This 1 minute something. Talk looking for it.
Yes, CDC remains the most populous political party in the country, and you have the ANC joining them as well, or some of the ANC members, most of the ANC members. Look, this is a recipe for chaos in the country. People see the EFL will step in, and they will be challenged. Trust me, they will be challenged. The police will be challenged equally.
Because what they did yesterday was complete nonsense. I said they prepare a vehicle already for the guy, $90,000 vehicle, a speaker, and they gave me the other speaker. They will give you 7 days. How? If you didn't do the right thing and give it somebody that mandate, it could backfire big time. And this is not for people to overlook it. So the whole thing is, go on, Francis.
People forgetting that sanctions were given to the C government. These are the actions that were C actions, similar action, or probably C situation action that was taken by the last administration. That most people into the sanction list, and this would be a lot of the people come January. A lot of these guys would be listed for sanctions by the United States government and the European Union, and we will lobby as EFLA, we will lobby for the sanction for the European Union. We will have to go to the offices in Brussels. Seriously.
Yeah, because as the way things are unfolding, imagine Paul is saying, right at the end of that episode, so there was this car that was supposed to be assigned to the new speaker.
The new speaker.
Yeah, disrespecting disrespecting the office of the old speaker as well. And when the mayor did not have the due process, Paul, I don't think I got a video. If it's possible with Joe Howard, can you send it again?
Yeah, let me see if I send it to you quickly because it's very interesting. It's just like
just send it to the same place. Well, let me just give my opinion on what may happen in the next couple of days, weeks, months, or so, depending on the situation. If the executive continue to play the role it plays, Joe Boakai is this person that will throw the stone and hide his hands. We saw this thing play out in the CPP, but because nobody wanted to see the name or hear the name Alexander Kwame, so people thought it was just people in the ANC were crying. But now here is the man. Where was Fonati Kofa when this whole thing popped up with Joe Boakai? Where? In Israel. Fonati Kofa was supposed to be addressing Aja in America. Right after that, he was found in Israel.
In Rome.
Italy, to go see the Pope. When this thing happened, the two of them returned. If you are the president and you are being with the speaker on a visit to the Pope, and while you were there, occupy a tento place, and then you both came home, what was supposed to be your first reaction as president? No, this thing cannot happen. Why? Intervene right away and call all the parties together, sit and discuss. But our president did not do that. I haven't still received a report. Our president did not do that.
WhatsApp. It's on WhatsApp. I'll send it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So our president did not do that. And then dragging on, he has been silent all along. Then news came that, okay, certain ministries, certain appointed officials by the same president, certain appointed officials provided money to influence the decision to remove the speaker. The president did not come out to say anything. Rather, some foot soldiers were there giving disjointed, excuses. And the whole thing can be put under control just by 2-3 minute speech from the president. He has not done anything. The president prepares the budget, or the executive prepares the budget and addresses it to what the term they use?
The majority bloc.
No, not majority bloc. Somebody in charge.
The clerk. And the clerk sent it to the majority bloc deputy speaker.
The presiding officer. That was the term they used. They addressed it to the presiding officer.
We all know that the deputy speaker is.
By right, the presiding officer should be the speaker. Once the speaker is not saying he's not there, he's still alive. Okay. And that's not the issue right there. Took the budget and give it to them. Then the second thing, the president knows that the tension is growing. Then he will leave his country and go. And goes to Sierra Leone. For no reason. He will not, I'm not sure Malabio invited him. For no reason. He wanted to go visit the old community that he was living, the school that he attended, this and that. So, and then in his absence, the speaker is quote unquote removed by the majority group, and then they provide. So who provided that jeep or the car to the? So it's a lot of things, man. But I'm trying to download that video, so I think you guys can take it from there. We got a very short time to go.
Yeah, so it's just a 1 minute clip.
Our video.
What you alluding to? That's what the video is saying. Say, look, it was Eddie Starter, it was Snow. And what Joel Howard is saying in that video that we play, that when the removal of Eddie Starter, President Sirleaf did submit the budget to Eddie Starter, or those the people were against him, but she respected his office and submitted the budget there. But in this case, the speaker still there, but the majority bloc that against that way the budget was submitted. So that alone show that it is what it is, that we're not dealing with the speaker anymore. See, this is a situation that is unfolding, and which is wrong. And I agree with you, Francis, when you said if the Unity Party not careful, this could go bad for them in the next election, because people seeing it is wrong. He came on a mantra of rescuing. If you rescue, then go back. So a fanatic over there, all of these things that they know, but he had all of these corporate, his hands were in there, they still voted him. Do this the way he voted him, use the same process of voting out. But you don't do the kangaroo kind of thing and you expect people to keep quiet. It's just wrong. So I don't know what you think, Francis, before Linford can will get about what, 5 more minutes and then we're out of here. You muted.
The issue of the budget being presented to the, what's the term you use?
You call the majority bloc?
No, they didn't give it to the majority black. It was very, very, very skillful.
The Senate presiding officer.
The Senate presiding officer. That was it was very, very skillful and crafty in way in which they did it, because I mean, they make it seem to have done that it was in a neutral position. And so what our president that Ellen Johnson said, he said at that time, it could have basically been a relationship with Tyler at the time or whoever it was. So I think it's the administration. I mean, I don't know how to put it apart and Linford. The presiding officer, again, I mean, listen to conspiracy theorist. They said that the presiding officer could be the speaker, it could be the chief clerk, it could be the deputy speaker.
Wow.
So we just don't know. The situation is so confusing. But for me, I think that what the president should have done, he was, if he was actually, trying to be, on the speaker side, you have presented the budget directly to the speaker. But it's clear that the president is not, he tried to be neutral in a way, but I don't think it worked out well.
And that's what Linford was saying. The both of them want to see the Pope in Rome. They came back, there was a coup. So to calm down the situation, submit the budget to this guy, then people say, okay, let them go through the process. But the fact is that they gave it to this the presiding officer, and presiding officer took care of the other side. I mean, these guys are very crafty, though. I didn't know that how politics can be very, very.
I'm finding it difficult to get the video from Joe Howard downloaded, but I think the major or the underlying truth there is that the executive is behind this whole thing. But Joe Boakai tries to, the president, let me address him properly, President Joe Boakai tries to play a very clever game. And remember that this man has been government for over 40 years. And he knows what to do. He knows how previous governments have been. In fact, that he was number 2 man. The same thing that President Ellen Johnson did to get rid of 2 speakers. This old man was in the Senate. He was sitting there watching. He was the president of the Senate. He was sitting there watching. So he knows all the tricks. And this is where Liberian people are supposed to know that elections have consequences. You also the mayor get 45 years experience. And that the mayor know. So the same way you know the mayor also knows you. You see, the 3 of us here, I know Francis knows me. I know Paul knows me. We may not be intimately close, live in the same era, but we've been knowing each other for years. So somebody will come to Paul and say, oh, I saw Linford, you were fighting in the street. Paul will have a second time when I Linford know, even if you believe it, but it will take him time. In fact, maybe the first thing, as a good friend, he might take a phone to try to even get to me. So, my man, somebody said they saw you. Okay? the scene with Francis, or the scene is somebody tells me anything about these two gentlemen. Oh, I said, but wait, let me check my man. Maybe something wrong. So when you know somebody, the person also knows you. So time for election, you say, oh, you know, that mayor, they know, everybody know that mayor, everybody voting for so me, I'll vote for him. And that person knows you. So the mayor knows exactly how to remove speaker because he wants to control both houses. And in the future, once he has both houses under him, whenever he wants anything done, it will be easy. Why is it that even if they were to remove Councillor Kufa and bring in new speaker, why is it that it was the same United Party man who ran against Councillor Kufa that they had to bring in, that they couldn't bring different person? Or why is it that nobody else could contest that they have to elect this guy on white ballot? Does that speak anything to anybody? Is anybody thinking, does anybody have head on his shoulder to begin to read between the lines?
It left with the Liberians to see what happened, because in the upper chamber, there was also a woman that was elected on white ballot. So this is where we're heading. My brother, Francis, before we go, we know you're part of this diaspora going to Liberia. We're closer to December. Do you want to talk to our audience what's going on, the process? Because Bottom Line promised to promote this thing too.
Yes, man. The stage is set. There are billboards all around the country right now, highlighting our people. I mean, conscientizing about the Liberia Diaspora Liberian Annual Return 2024. It begins December 1st to January 31st, but actual event starts on the 15th. And there are a lot of packages, tour packages. There are different occasion events that have been held. The Christmas Contacta is held on the Christmas Day, and the Liberian Peace and Reconciliation Dialogue will be held on December 5th, December 20th at the Eddie Johnson Sir Leaves, what you call it, Mistura Complex, the conference room there. And they have tours, excursion tours to Pequeno, Ideana. They had the Dumbo, I think it was the Dumbo, and the Dumbo Festival. You have 7 types of Dumbo. You have the Barefoot Dumbo. You have the Kisawa Dumbo. They got a lot of stuff going on. My mouth is watering now. I will be in Liberia. You have the Grand March on December 31st, or December 30th, on one of the days, you know. So look, Liberians from around the world are gearing up to go to Liberia. They have for those in the United States, they have a flight arrangement with Ethiopian Airlines that will fly directly to Monrovia. Based upon the amount of budget we have, it's a direct flight from New York to RIA. So we have a meeting tomorrow. Every Saturday we have a meeting tomorrow. Our time will be like 4 o'clock our time, and those who are interested, you have a link share, and then you can form part of the discussion. But everything is set. Just waiting to be welcome. There will be a big banner at the Rawa International Airport, waiting for Liberians, welcoming you guys. We'll be going back home, and be visa on arrival. You can obtain your visa at the RIA if your airline, the airline flying away, permits it. So you have to find out all these things before you travel to get on the plane. I experienced one time I going to Liberia. From here, the guy who was denied entry, boarding the flight because he didn't have a visa to show. That he said he was a visa was arranged for him actually in Monrovia, but the airline refused him. So yeah, basically it's just a nutshell of what is going on in Monrovia as it relates to the Diaspora Liberian Annual Return 2024.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah, it's a good update, and the whole idea of the program sounds very interesting, very good. That's something that I would have loved to be at. Travel some of those countries since the 1997 elections. I've not traveled widely across Liberia, so I want to see how the countries are doing, and with the establishment of the new countries, the few additional countries. I haven't been to Bapol before, and Rio G and stuff like that. But one concern somebody might want to raise, or me want to raise, is with all this rigmaroles, in a town where nothing seems to be working. The second branch, the first branch of government is at Lagos with itself, and government is practically look at it practically. Government is not functional. Besides the executive, people going to work, but government is not functional because nothing is happening. What guarantee will one have to want to even venture into Liberia when there is uncertainty? It seems to be like anything can blow off anytime, especially the Christmas season.
Linford, I just want to, upon a correction, that things are happening. People are going to work. The legislators are going to work. They are doing having two separate sessions, but are going to work. There are a lot of things are going on. The chief justices,
I hate the chief justices. Hold on. I raised the issue here.
The chief justices are going to work. The president is going to work. The vice president is going to work. Everybody going to work.
But there is position in the first branch of government. And do not sugarcoat it. Now, you work, if you work in one office, let's say you work in one accounting office, and then one side of the office, the other group people say they're not working, or everything, confusion there, then you go to work. What do you do? Okay, the budget. Common example, the budget is in the hands of the what you call it, the majority group. They gotta work on it and send it to the Senate. But suppose the Senate we can't accept it because all of them remember
supposition. Yeah, there are supposition. Wait until the Senate say it cannot work with the document. But until then, we cannot generally say that country is not working. Things are going on. People, big trade and commerce is going on. People are handling the businesses as going on.
And let me add salt and pepper to it. We are a blessed country with the only country in the world that have two speakers, so things are normal. Therefore, can't sugarcoat the whole thing. When it comes to December, the noise can die down in Liberia. After December,
what started December 24th?
Yeah, man, it started December 24th.
Right, end of December.
It was, they said the 29th. It was end of December when it jolly finished. So
okay. Anyway, guys, I think our time, you know what I love about us Liberians? We are very resilient people. I see how you guys are fighting hard to defend this thing. But I will tell you something. When the war was fighting, even in Greater Liberia, in Kakata, when I left Monrovia,
people are still
Kakata, Kakata, one time, imagine people in the neck like Kakata, wow. I said, then April says, Akin, people fighting on Broad Street, my man, were in on the Oro, Kongotan there, my man, life was going on, Watanga, or Body. So, like, people were very resilient people. I think at a certain point, we got used to all the thing here. But I'm not trying to discourage people from traveling to Liberia for this or another diaspora, return. I would have, because this is the first, I think the first time, and it's going to be every year. I would have loved to be part of that grand opening to see, because
but it's not the first. We actually made an attempt. 2012, 2013, I was in Liberia. I met specifically, but it was not, I mean, at the end of the day, the few people decided to do what they wanted to do. And they had the government promising, but the government was, a little bit a step back. This time around, the president is involved, So, I mean, the re-administration, former president re-administration was kind of a little bit reserved, But now, this time, the president involved is from the president's office. So, we hope that, most of the foreign fare and passing trade will be, upgraded, heightened, and maybe come to reality. And then the political issue as well. And then, the bread and butter issue will be discussed at the what do you call it? The Liberian Dialogue. Because have an investment forum as well. I'm letting you guys have an investment forum.
Okay. And let me help to give those that are traveling. What happened with all of those representatives that fight your money and said their family friends will be going to Liberia. So those people, they will all meet up in some kind of nightclub bar. They will all let nothing happen. They will all be on the jelly. So that it is. So people will enjoy. Then when the people leave now, then they start their nonsense.
You want me to party here?
Okay, guys. Well, we have to go, guys. We'll be here 2 hours now.
Yeah. And I know. I can't make it, so I'm not gonna make a attempt. But guys, I think it was a great show, and we cover a wide range of issues, international as well as local. And this is what we do best on this show. So I want to thank you for those of you who followed us through our Rewards Pro. Let me recognize a couple of people here. If I can see your name on my dashboard, Rewards Pro, the most popular person on the show here tonight. He got all the comments, and he got fighting for America. I know he's in America, so he believe that America that one beat China. But man, Deveke Gulayo, and we Christian, it's a Deveke Gulayo. Also, we have our sister Chadela Triple, who is always here, and the rest of you got Pataki, our brother from Belgium. So I want to say a big thanks to all of you. If this is the first time joining us, we are here every Tuesday and Fridays at Central European Time 9 o'clock and Liberian Time 8 o'clock. So you can join us whenever you have the time. But not only Tuesdays and Fridays, whenever important things happen in between, that schedule will come back and be with you. So thanks for watching. And let me say a big thank you to my colleagues. It takes time to be here. And if we are not here, you will not be here. Have a good night. And this is how we'd like to take you home. Let me see how we're going to take you home. Bear with me. Let me find something that can drive us home for the night. In fact, Paul can do that. Paul, take us home.
Good night to our viewers, and we're back here on Tuesday. Thanks for being with us. So I'll leave you with another young Liberian artist, and you can enjoy this music since it's Friday.
Boy.
If we're pregnant, it's people.
Only records, Now you bad liquor on a tell what you want you to don't can show yourself. Got plenty of things in you dancing, you get copy, I say don't can show yourself. You using Chani, Mr. Chani, I say to never bad don't can show yourself. You say you young boy, your sling on a papa bob, I say don't can show yourself.